All right, welcome back to the International. We're in the midst of DD Dota versus Roxkiss. I wasn't really in the midst of it. I was actually upstairs watching it and didn't think the game was going to end, and then I missed the end of the match. But I saw the big fight on Roshan, and I was like, oh dear. And everyone came up and was like, James, where are you? But I'm here. We're going to actually give Andy just a game off so he can attend to his throat.
Yes.
And also we're going to have Bruno help me out on the commentary desk.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, who knows. Scriff, Wepez, how are you?
Good. Feeling good. My hair is gone crazy again. I should just keep my cap on. I mean, but people were sad in chat that I took the cap on, even though my hair is like wild. I don't know.
Yesterday you were Andy Warhol. Yeah. Today you're Albert Einstein.
It reminds me of the professor dude from Back to the Future.
Yeah, Doc Brown.
Doc Brown, I can see that.
I could agree with that, yeah.
All right, you're on that. So Andy's going to be observing. So we're actually, because we're going into the third game, we do have to random the who gets the pick. What's the options, Andy? 1 and 2 are the options. If they win, they get to pick.
This is how we've been doing it the whole time.
They get to pick either first pick or sides, right?
Don't yet. Let's find out first.
Yeah. So Roxkiss have picked number 1. This is random.org, and the winner is 2.
Bam.
So
DD wins.
The random was number 2. DD get to decide something. Whatever it is, they want first pick.
Am I the stats man now?
So
I have everything up.
You are the stats
You can do whatever you want. Your ice frog.
The power. So Roxkiss will get to pick side. Normally we've seen people opt for Dire.
Yeah.
Just because the offensive, not the offensive triangle, but just the Roshan.
Roshan control. Yeah, that's very important. Before it used to be that Radiant had the mid pool, which made it quite strong, especially if you wanted to run Wisp, because you could put Wisp with whatever hero you have mid and get Wisp just to farm that easy camp.
We saw though in last game, DD actually got up on the high ground to the left of Roshan pit and forced Roxkiss back.
Yeah.
So that dire advantage, they turned it against them, I'd say, because they got the high ground and Roxkiss led them. So yeah.
And of course, I mean, it would be a game, and I wouldn't be here if we didn't have some stats. So we're going to go into something which I think might be head-to-head or team. So it's going to be team, apparently. We're going to talk a little bit more about Roxkiss. Look at that. I mean, what can we tell about this team that we haven't told already? They're really good at playing the Vayne. Really good at playing the Vayne. Ban score. Not the best of games this last game, but...
Well, that one mistake he made top, that was the only thing you could say. Otherwise, I put it down to Zeus just not having a big enough impact mid in terms of the middle part of the game. Dread almost pulled that back for him, but
it was not enough.
It wasn't enough. Yeah, that Zeus got shut down too big.
And as we see, I don't think there's anything else that's particularly relevant there. You can rest assured that they will not play the Chaos Knight with Wisp. I'm not sure I've seen Roxkiss even try to go for the Wisp. Probably they even ban it. But I would be interested to see if maybe it goes through the banning stage and see if this one of these two teams actually pick the hero, because it forces you, both your team and your opponent's team, to play so differently that maybe something like that could happen. And as we see, they're also worst against the Chaos Knight being 0-3. So if DD Dota can get his hand in the CK Wisp combo, they might be onto something here.
Yeah, Wisp has been an easy one to ban out there for most teams, even in the first banning phase. And here we can also check out Funzy, who played for, obviously, DD Dota.
Yeah.
Last game, he was on the...
Lone Druid.
Lone Druid, yeah. He didn't have a huge impact, but until later.
He got his farm.
Yeah.
He played it safe. He wasn't the luckiest one with entangles, particularly. He decided not to go for a Vasher, instead of going for a Maelstrom, which gives you less locking power. But I mean, they have enough lockdown with the Bad Rider, for example. But it does give you lots more of the damage, particularly AoE damage. And we can see his stats with Lone Druid are pretty decent. Not high in kills, but enough GPM and he always finds way to some grips.
Yeah, that was the story of that tri-lane as well. Rockskiss weren't looking to get kills, they were just looking to get their farm, but at the end of the day, they didn't make enough happen in the mid-game, and of course, DD were able to just keep farming, and that Luna so far ahead, played by Silence. So we did have a request from DD just for a couple of minutes here, so they should be starting roughly in about 1 minute. But guys, going into game number 3, I was about to say 2, but it's 3, what can you expect for both teams? Because it's this match. If they win this match, they're going to the international. If you lose here, you could lose to Mouse Sports, and then you were literally 1 game away.
Yeah. In my opinion, I think we're going to see another 3 ban. Because it did so much for them, especially in mid and offlane. Just that living armor enabled Solo not to be shut down by a Luna in mid on Zeus. As well as it helped out Soshka on the one-on-one against Weaver on top lane as well. So I think Treant is going to be banned probably in first stage, actually. Cause, like in game 1. So yeah. And what do you think, Wopus?
Well, I think that Roxas might try and fall back on a clockwork once again. Try and get that hero because it works so much better for them just to be able to have a bigger impact. I mean, you'll play the Keeper of the Light, which can have a big impact if you hit some good illuminates, but it's not the same thing as a clockwork where you have cogs and a hook shot and you can just instantly kill off a support or just disrupt the fight completely. So they might want to try and look for that, maybe even try and go for a gyrocopter, but I believe it was banned out in the first 2 in the last game. But if they ban out, I believe they banned it out themselves even. So if they ban out in 3 instead, of course Gyro will be in the pool. So we'll have to wait and see, but I'm guessing they'll try and get their hands on a clock at least.
And as we mentioned before, Mouse Sports are still waiting to play the loser of this game. What do you think Mouse Sports have picked up from some of the styles that Roxkiss and DD have brought to the table over just 2 games?
I think Mouseport has to be really concerned. Whichever team loses, it's still a really, really strong team in terms of how they've developed up to here and what they could bring even in these 3 matches, even if we haven't seen the 3rd one yet. So Mouseport will have to be very wary. But what we have seen from these 2 teams in particular is if you don't get them the heroes that they like to play, it's complicated. Govlak, of course, he's very creative. He has lots of pocket strats, but they've been really comfortable playing that Treant. They've been really comfortable playing it safe and just getting those safe heroes that can give them a victory later. In the case of Roxkiss, it's even easier. They need the Gyrocopter, Vanskor and the Ruvik Ord Vayne and the Clockwork were the key heroes. So Mouseport should be watching here and saying like, okay, these are the heroes that we do not have to give them. And then without that, we probably have a fair chance of winning that match.
Roxkiss actually had the option to go to Clockwork last game as well. What do you think the reasoning was behind not picking it up?
Well, didn't they pick the Weaver really early? I think they did. And if you pick the Weaver early...
wasn't the Weaver the 4th pick, actually?
3rd pick.
Huh?
Third pick.
Was the 3rd pick?
Yes.
Okay.
I do believe so.
I have to check the VODs.
So I imagine that, they could have gone for the clock, but the Weaver also gives you more aggression, gives you 1 more core. The problem of going with the clock is that it's 1 less farmer. If you want to go with the tricore...
Clock mid?
Clock mid.
Over Zeus?
Well, the thing is, clock mid against Bat Rider, which was the original intention, it was going to be tough. It was going to be really tough. Of course, the cogs can make this force field that allows the Bat Rider not to get there, but the Bat Rider will not let you get any farm at all. You have to constantly spam all the rocket flares and you will not get any single rune, so it was going to be tough.
Alright.
How are the teams looking?
Well, we're missing...
I'm just asking for DD when their ETA is. They're just missing, I think it's Funzy right now. He's actually an unassigned player, so he's in the game. And they should be joining up really, really soon. Of course.
Hi, Andy.
Sorry, I'm quite
Hey. Why are you happy?
One game break.
You get a 1 game break. I've still got really tired eyes from before, Andy. I'm gonna.
Yeah, but my eyes get like all red because I get like I have to sneeze really bad, but it never actually.
We need to get you one of those buttons. You know, when you need to sneeze, you go cough button.
Yeah, a cough button. We need that.
Yeah, we need cough buttons. Trans.
Get us cough button.
Okay.
Thank you, Trans.
He doesn't seem. That
You know we love you, right?
Doesn't seem that interested into cough buttons. Yeah, but whatever reasons DD need, it's or of course worthy us just giving them a couple of minutes to get ready. I think they said 1 to 2 minutes. I think they were underestimating.
I'm going to change the question for you. Instead of saying who's going to win or what they should pick, what hero do you want to see? Is there a hero that you haven't seen, or maybe that you have seen already, but a hero that you particularly enjoy casting because you'll be doing the play-by-play now? I can do play-by-play. It would be
I thought
funny.
you were doing play-by-play.
Am I doing play-by-play? I don't think I'm doing play-by-play.
I mean, a hero I would like to see that I haven't seen so far in these matchups.
You have some help there.
I was thinking Drow Ranger.
You know, actually, the Drow Ranger...
I was going to show it as well, actually.
I think it would have been a great pick for last game. Of course, they didn't need it. Luna was really strong. Oh, and we're ready here. But having that silence, having that great damage dealer that actually scales really well and is really powerful from level 6 onwards, might have been interesting to see, if only just because the hero is there on the pole right now.
I just want to check I got the settings right. Andy, everything's okay over here, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Huh?
Who took first pick, Roxas?
Yeah.
And it's first
No, first pick is DD.
DD.
Okay, so it should just be Radiant and everything's fine. Everything should be fine, but it should already be set.
Starting team Radiant.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'm going to believe you here. I'm asking if
Believe
they're
it
both
or
ready.
not.
Well, the thing is, it only
DD said they're ready. Rock's Kiss haven't said anything yet.
They're always ready, man.
Born ready, yeah. Well, I just want to get a confirmation before I start.
Believe
Bruno,
it or not.
how do I do
It's
this?
me. Just
Just press all the buttons.
magic.
Man,
It's really easy if I can do it.
Okay.
no one can.
Wow,
I'm
thank you.
starting the game. Feels scary to start a game.
Wow,
But
so much
it's
responsibility.
It's one game away from qualifying to the international. I'm like, I hope all the settings are okay.
James, you just kill the team.
Huh?
One team is gonna lose, and you kill them. They're out after this game. You just kill the team.
It's like killing a kitten, man.
Yeah.
Almost.
Let's go. Game 3. Let's get no.
All right, yeah. So here it comes down to this one game between these two, and in this best of 3 series, DD managed to bounce back after going 0-1 down. A nice game that they played. Smart choice putting the Luna mid on silent. Really made hell for solo on his Zeus, and that was pointed out quite a lot in terms of how bad that was going in the early stages. But we are going to go back into the bans and picks, and of course it will be Rock's Kiss to pick first.
Yes.
No, I can't remember.
No, DD picking first.
DD picking first.
You can see it
Radio.
there,
Yeah, I
there's
got it.
Good.
Stats. No talking, just stats.
Play. Go.
I'm done. I can tag anything.
You're Danny. Jaskell just realized he's made a horrible mistake, and he's like, I'm ready to cast again. Okay, so Darks are going to be banned out here for DD.
It's a solid ban. I mean, we see him ban all the time. Just an interesting team. And radical online extremist Rock's Kiss decides we're not getting the first big gyrocopter, so no one's getting it.
We
So far,
can't play with Gyro, no one will. It's
No
kind
one
of
will,
a
yeah.
very childish way to
They
look at
really
that.
want that hero. They grew fond of it. They can't kill him. And,
Well, over to DD Dota.
what will they
and-
ban? Will they ban the Wisp? Well, no, they ban the Lifestealer.
So Wisp is in the pool, Nyx Assassin and Batrider. So if DD, if Rocks are going to ban out the Wisp,
And the
then
tree
that-
is still in there as well. Let's not
yeah,
forget.
that's true. Yeah.
The tree, the clockwork. There's so many things that you can ban right now. I mean, lots of heroes that have been crucial. If I wouldn't be surprised if one of these teams says, like, let's go with the Slark even.
Yeah, I kind of figured it might have been the Wisp ban out. So that's going to be a Batrider first pick for DD. Worked out well for him fine last game.
Yep. They show that they can play it also in the offlane, especially if they are versus a solo safe-lane hero. They will get something out of it. So now it's Roxky's turn to actually decide what their 2 core heroes. And these 2 picks are extremely important because they set the tone of not only what you're getting later, but also you show your cards to your opponent and they will say, okay, this is what they're going for. We need to play around these 2 heroes.
Yeah, and I'm expecting as well the Treant Protector coming out for DD. Maybe Rock's Kiss will actually just pick it up, just out of spite.
I really don't think it suits their style, though.
No, me neither. So we'll see what they can get for themselves. Nyx Assassin is in there.
They are taking their sweet time, but this, as I said, is really important. These 2 picks are the make or break of the team. If you just give first pick, but Rider doesn't say much, but this now saying, okay, I have a Shadow Demon. Suddenly you have defensive support there, you have a support that's really good against other stuff like Anti-Mage or Phantom Lancer. So it limits your ability to pick afterwards, but we'll see what the other pick will be.
And as you mentioned, yeah, Rock's Kiss are taking a bit of time. I think DD already feel a little bit more popular, and Rock's Kiss are going to put that clockwork in. I think that's a great pickup. I'm really happy the Rock's Kiss have picked that up, because now it means if DD are going to win this game, they're going to go and beat the Rock's Kiss with the clockwork, which I felt has been the strongest hero that they've brought into all of their lineups.
Yes, and not only that, that also kind of says you're not going to get a Magnus. There's no need to ban the Magnus right now when you have a clockwork. We saw how well that hero counters the Magnus. Just doesn't let him initiate just because the rocket cancels the blink dagger, just because you can jump with the hook into him, and even if you get the initiate on him, just one cog is enough to disrupt everything that comes afterwards. So interesting pick. Now
this is where DD can get creative.
Yes.
I feel Bat Rider doesn't show much at all.
No,
it has options, and it's just a very all-round strong hero. So knowing that they're up against the clockwork, what have they got in store?
Well, because they're getting a clockwork, they will not be getting 3 farming heroes. They will at least get a farming mid and a carry, but they will not be getting the tricor that you sometimes can get with offlaners just like Nature's Prophet. So DD can say, well, we can play it with you now, and we can go for a lone druid, and there comes a tree. I mean, pretty standard, that's what they worked for the last game, and they're trying this again. If they can get the lone druid and something else like the Luna, then they're pretty much in the same spot they were on game 2.
Excellent job, by the way, Scriff. That felt really kind of dramatic, the way you held up the... He's doing our job better than us over there. Whereas you didn't put enough effort into your placement on the board. That's like a little bit more creativity. But yeah, as you mentioned, the Lone Druid going to be easy to farm on. Treant Protector, something that is been one of their go-to heroes in a weird way. And it is a little bit greedy in terms of just having that Lone Druid there as well.
The thing is that with the Treant Protector, it allows you to play heroes in the offlane that normally don't have a good time and just play them aggressive. You can go with that Bad Rider, if they decide to go with the Bad Rider offlane, and just go toe-to-toe against a Life Stealer that's not going to be there. But let's remember the Weaver, for example, that they had. And the Weaver is not going to have much of an impact because for the first few attacks, he will not be doing any damage. And look at Rock's Keys. They say, you're not going to play the Magnus, we are going to play the Magnus.
Rubik is still in the pool, but of course we're now going into the second phase of ban, so we'll see what DD are going to do. I doubt they're going to be banning out the Rubik. Rock's Kiss potentially might be. Clockwork, going to be... sorry, not Clockwork. Clockwork's being picked up. Tinker's going to be removed out.
Yeah. I'm a bit concerned about Rock's Keys right now. As I said, they have the Clockwork, which is a hero that can't do much with their farm. Magnus, of course he will find harm, but he will probably be going for that Blink, Arcane, Refresher. It's a build that is standard. Even if he gets a Shiva or a Shipstick, it's not something that will particularly increase their damage, which means they're putting all in their carry.
Yeah, it really is. And they're not going to get the carry of choice, which they love, which is the Gyrocopter. So which other carries do they prefer to go to?
Well, I mean, they've pretty much been picking only Weaver, Gyrocopter, and Lifestealer as their 3 farming heroes recently. But I wouldn't be surprised if with this lineup they don't go for something like an Anti-Mage even. The problem they have right now is that they also have too many heroes, and if you pick one more, then suddenly your lanes are super weak. And you have to be careful about having weak lanes, especially because with the Treant Protector, your weak lanes became weaker.
Alright, and they're actually going to ban out the OD here, Rock's Kiss. Noticing that as a big threat of DD when they do get to play it. But I do feel that DD have the advantage here in the drafting phase. They seem a little bit in terms of ahead of what they want. They've obviously decided what they wanted to give to Rock's Kiss. And Rock's Kiss aren't really denying heroes of choice, in my opinion, over by DD. It's like the OD is the only specific ban out against the team.
And the Weaver bans from DD is aimed specifically at Dread, which had a great game last game. And as Weapons and Scriff pointed out, there's always a possibility that the Clockwork can be played as a support as well. They've actually been playing it as a support. So in that case, that would open up one more slot for a farming carry. in the offlane, which is why we're seeing the Tinker and Weaver pick, which were the first and second, the offlaners for both the first and second games.
Yeah, so that Clockwork might have to go offlane. And a Nature's Prophet ban out. Are you predicting that, or a pick, Wepaz? You pick by Rock's Kiss and Nature's Prophet. I actually think that DD.
I don't think DD should let them get the Prophet at all, and they get the Luna band, of course. Not the greatest of bands. I think that the Luna pick was not particularly important. Yes, it won the lane versus Zeus, but there were other carries that would have been able to do the same. So maybe again we can see some Drow Ranger, which I'd love to see. But here it comes another offlaner. What DD is saying is you're not going to get any farming offlaner at all, and we're going to make your life really difficult. You have to rely only on one hero and just put average offlaner in the offlane.
So, final ban for DD Dota in the final game here. So we're all tied up 1-1.
And there it goes.
And the Nature's Prophet is going to be banned out.
Very clever from Govlak, if I dare say so myself. But look at now, if you have to think what offlaners can you get that can actually farm, maybe the Windrunner can find some farm on the offlane. And that's pretty much about it, to be fair.
Yeah, this is true. I'm just thinking about what Rock's Kiss are going to want to remove.
Bounty Hunter is another possibility, as Griff points out, that you can give. But Bounty Hunter will have such a rough time to find any kind of farm or even experience if he goes against a Trident, and if he goes in a 1v1 situation.
10 seconds remaining.
Let's hope it's not the Bad Rider there. And DD has lots of choices to go for.
Remaining.
Final ban then for Rock's Kiss. Taking their time, and as we mentioned, yeah, it's going to be the Rubik, and I thought they would have had to ban that out just because they could have given it away against the Magnus, so smartly done. I kind of overlooked that in the later stages, got a bit carried away. So DD going to get their first pick of the second phase. Any particular options that you think they should be looking at in terms of positions or heroes?
Well, the Vayne is still in the pool. And both teams like to play the Vayne, but there's no particular hero that you want to use the Vayne against. The Bad Rider is not a particular target. The Lone Druid, you have to Fiend's Grip the bear, which is not ideal, and if you Fiend's Grip the hero, the bear will still do damage. And from the other hand, Shadow Demon, Clockwork, and Magnus, not great heroes for Fiend Gripping as well. The problem that Rockskis has now is that they don't have any natural BKB carriers, so whatever DD can go for, if they want to go for something heavily magical, they can do it right now, and it could work.
Well, the OD's been banned out as well, which is a pretty good early ban for Rock's Kiss in the second phase.
Imagine if DD went Skywrath Mage against that Magnus.
That's a very good point. I haven't seen him play Skywrath Mage, though.
Not in this tournament so far, but he's been played in other tournaments. I think the Curse tournament, Dandy played it a lot. Also, yeah.
It's a very strong hero mid versus a Magnus. We've seen the amount of pressure they were able to put down, but you can see how important this is for both teams. DD and Rock's Kiss taking a lot of time to be able to get their picks in, and they're actually going to go for the Phantom Lancer.
Interesting.
On the fourth pick.
So now they have against probably two strong heroes to farm up and wait for the late game. They remove the possibility of getting a strong offlaner hero, so they're going to play by the numbers. They play safe, they wait for the 40 minutes mark, and suddenly your one carry, even if it's a Faceless Void, even if it's an anti-mage or whatever carry you desire, will not be able to stand to both a Lone Druid and a Phantom Lancer.
10 seconds remaining.
How do you react to a Phantom Lancer here of your Rock's Kiss?
Well, they do have the Shadow Demon to begin with, so that will actually kind of help when you're getting into that late stage, trying just to make your own army. But going against a Phantom Lancer, it's kind of a signal that Radical Line Extremists should go all in and say, let's try and push. Maybe just get the... Yeah, exactly. I was going exactly for that. Just put that Clockwork in the offlane, get a Chen, get a carry that can actually help you push. The Luna is not there, of course, but there are other ones that are really strong, and just make something happen. The Shadow Fiend, interesting. More like a clear the creep wave kind of pushing hero, but they go for the Keeper of the Light instead. And now we know that that Clockwork is not a support Clockwork.
Yeah, and that's also kind of a pick that helps them with their push, but also removes the Keeper of the Light Phantom Lancer pickup together over for DD. So did they want it? Who knows? They might have. I think the Chen would have been a better pick in terms of being able to make something happen in the early phases on some towers. But they've gone for Keeper of the Light, still a very strong hero. And as we mentioned, Rock's case, it really does come down to very interested to find out which carrier they think will go up. And the Bane's going to be picked up by DD, and that's also a really nice pickup. I really fancy DD's lineup here.
Yes, I think DD just won the draft by forcing Rockskis to go into this, okay, we can't have the support clock because there's no strong offlaner left. And they had to change their plans, put their clockwork there, and just try. And even they can put it in mid and put the Magnus in the offlane. But the fact that they had to pick the Keeper of the Light changes everything for them. And now this last pick they'll have to think of very well, because this hero they pick right here will be the only hero that will top the gold per minute tables. And yeah, Scriff is pointing out Alchemist.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice, and maybe one of the only choices. Not sure how Rockskis are going to be able to play that in terms of how well they've had success with an Alchemist, but either way, they are going to be picking it up. And everyone's going to DC.
Everyone's going to DC. Do you know why? Oh, could we rehouse? Yeah. You just have to remake because the Russians have high ping.
Andy.
All the settings are going to stay the same, so I got to do is
Leave game. Create lobby. Bam. There. Just jump into the...
I got it. Press 3 buttons.
Jump into
I'm
the
the best.
broadcaster. Yeah.
Woohoo.
Jump into the broadcaster.
I have to wait, though, for the good studio commentary to be in there
He's
first.
there already.
It's fine.
Hello, second camera.
Why was Clockwork ancienting? Come on, look where he is. Yeah, of course. It's the ancients. Why?
That's not how it works, Wepas.
Webpaz, you're drunk.
Okay, it's Bambo.
Let's...
It's like hidden.
Dread is not Bambo.
Red's red, he's like
Okay.
all over that triangle. Okay.
A lot of pressure on this Alchemist. Do you
A lot
guys
of
feel that
pressure.
as well,
Yeah.
in terms of the lineup?
We're muted, by the way.
You're muted. You don't even have your mics on.
No.
Oh, okay.
Terrible, terrible.
God. Hey, Bruno.
Hey,
A lot of
James.
pressure on this Alchemist.
A lot of pressure.
A lot
indeed.
of pressure.
I don't know how this alchemist will hold the pressure. His shoulders, he might be a few inches smaller once this game ends, just because of all the pressure. Sorry,
I don't know. Yeah.
I was going somewhere.
Yeah.
And
it
I
was
got
good.
lost.
I followed you there.
Yeah,
It was
thank
fine.
you.
It was fine. All right, so we're just waiting for the last member of DD to come in, and hopefully the pings are going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
We would.
It's just
expect
silent that is missing, and
So. Yep.
it's very normal for some players to just say, "Okay, my team is drafting. I go AFK. That's something to drink."
I find that really weird.
Yeah, and that's actually the reason why you have so many pauses at the beginning of the game. You know, lots of teams love to pause at the beginning of the game. It's just because they're like, hey, we just finished the draft, you should get
You're
back.
playing this hero.
And now we're all ready.
Oh, they're good to go. All right, let me just ask Roxkiss if they're ready. And
they're not answering.
I have to ask people if they're ready before I start the game, because it's
Yeah,
like,
of course.
where's them rude? Oh, wait,
Yeah.
edit settings. Andy told me it was fine, but it's going to have to be all pick
All
Andy.
pick.
Well, I mean, yeah.
And now Roxkiss is active for 2 minutes, please.
I was actually right. I said it's going to be reposted with the same settings.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but Andy, we can't do captain's mode again. Average ban and draft phase
You want
takes...
to observe?
Huh?
Oh.
You don't want me observing.
All right, fine. Stay.
If you feel better, you're more...
Well, it just like the whole second game, I had to sneeze like the entire game, like 30 minutes. Like,
You had to sneeze the entire game. You should just sneeze, Andy.
no,
Yeah.
but I couldn't.
You couldn't sneeze. You wanted to sneeze.
Well, I mean, can you do that? Can you give me one person in front? Yes.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, every mic has its own little button, and you can mute it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Digital.
Wow.
Digital soundboard.
problem is though, if you move one person, you mute the TV, so it doesn't matter if I talk. Yeah, it sees it, but come on, it's like. Yeah, no, but still.
Come on.
Same.
Yeah. Ah,
Quick, Bruno, tell us a joke.
I'll tell you a joke. I have none. There's one right there. Yes. Phantom Lancer walked into a bar. There was no counter.
Are you sure it was a bar then?
Well, it was a steel bar, from what they told me.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Wait, I've got them ready again. Okay, yeah, both ready.
Let's go. Just click the button. Yeah, to adventure and beyond.
This should be my job, just starting games.
It's a lot of
I'm
responsibility.
going to ask Ice Frog if I can go to the international just to click start game.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Just to have that power. Huh? I'm not hosting. Mount's hosting.
Malk is hosting, yeah. With guts.
They're gonna. Valve wanted it to be like kind of like two people that would be able to talk, and they're gonna both fight each team's kind of angle of how they played. So it's gonna be like an argument hosting desk between Malk and Gods.
I think my team should win.
Yeah, and Malk could be like, "My team was great,"
and God would say, "Your team is not in the international."
Yeah. And every time they come back, they're going to change shirts to the teams that they represent, so people at home will know. I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, yeah. He's going to wear a Dignitas shirt, Team Liquid shirt. He's really looking forward to it, actually. I spoke to him the other day. Anyway, so we're going to be back into the game. Just going to pick up their heroes, and then we'll get started. Game 3 in the upper bracket finals of the playoffs. Winner of this will move on to the international in some capacity, as I keep saying, because it's kind of confusing. But what it really is,
to Seattle.
You win this. Yeah, you win this, you go into the grand finals of the playoffs. You have one match, it's a best of 3.
That's 5.
Best of 5, best of 3 plus 2.
Yeah.
2 additional games in the best of 3. And then the winner of that will directly qualify to the international with all the other invited teams.
Yay.
And the team that comes second will have to play a match versus the East qualifiers, second place, at Seattle. And the winner from the game at Seattle versus the Eastern qualifiers will also go into the tournament. Pings.
Webas, do you have the console enabled in here?
Yeah,
DD are fine, but Rockskiss
are having terrible ping.
What are their pings?
Well, from 220 up to 330, so it's a lot.
Okay. So I rehost? Do you want me to rehost, Bruno?
Yeah, we should do another rehost. Yeah, just rehost?
Yeah, I'll rehost, yeah. I'm good at hosting. Getting some good practice.
Well, clearly not, because games are not launching.
It launched.
Well, but not really.
What's going on?
I fucked up nothing. Oh, okay. I feel like this is safe. They want me to cast this game.
Huh?
They want me to cast this game. That's why it's been remade 3 times, or 2 times, or whatever it is.
You want to cast with Bruno? And then I'll sit over there with Webaz?
I would love to fucking cast with Bruno.
Yeah, okay. That's the attitude I want. You hear that? He would love to cast with you. But you can't have him. He's mine. No, you can. So you feel better? Like, is that okay? Yeah, you good?
He didn't like our
maybe
draft
when
analysis.
you come in and let me. Okay, when you press the button, maybe it's better. Let's just swap. You ready?
Okay.
It's going to be a studio swap. Scriff, you're taking your chair. I'm taking yours. You're taking mine. Webaz, you can stay there.
Is it like
Everybody make it happen within 5 seconds.
I want to
Wait.
produce Trans. Wanna call commentate?
Wait, within 5 seconds, guys. We need to be in the correct positions. Get ready. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Go.
Wait. Yeah. Okay, Trance, I gotta get it on first. Relax, bud. Jeez. James, like, got this thing stuck in the tape and stuff. Holy cow. There we go. Bruno, I've never casted with you before.
I've never casted with you either.
That's why I was like, I thought about it, and then I was like, well, maybe I need a break, because, I'm still a little bit, but then I was like, I want to fucking cast with Bruno.
Yeah.
So
I
was
was scared until
I'm casting with Bruno. Yeah.
What?
the first 3 wars
What's
scared
Chris
me.
said?
I'm fine.
He said, I want to fucking cast with Bruno, and up to the 3rd war, I was really scared.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's... I don't swing that way, sorry.
Yeah.
I mean,
no,
it would be flattering, even if you were a straight man, I would assume, but it's like...
No.
I'm looking forward to the game, though.
I'm looking forward to the game as well, especially with the Alchemist pick. Especially with that Phantom Lancer pick, which everyone's excited
Oh, yeah,
about.
super exciting. And not only did they pick a Phantom Lancer, but that's like a super defensive lineup, actually.
Yeah.
They have a Lone Druid, a Treant, and then a perfect Turtle team to back up Phantom Lancer. So for DD, it's can they buy the time? That's pretty much going to be the goal. Because I don't think there's any question whatsoever that if they get to the late game,
They should
Rock's Kiss are going to be sad.
Yes.
Like, really sad.
Unless we're counting on 4 or 5 mana RPs, which I don't think... you remember Rock's Keys in the first game. They didn't go for the 4 mana RP. They just were happy to get 1, 2 mana RPs, secure the kill on the hero, just move away, get the pick off.
Yeah.
And the game, I think...
Everyone's good. Cool. And it's the alt pick. Cool.
See if you got magic fingers here, Andy.
Well, usually the games I start actually work.
Yeah.
Except for the first ones, but that was Valve's fault.
But you have a good percent.
Good percent, yeah. I'd say probably like 80,
Good start
75
percent.
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say 80. We'll round it.
Yeah. It's good enough. And people are connecting, and I'm going to check the pings just right now. And it seems to be much better for everyone, really.
Yeah, looks like there's only a couple of people who are sitting at around 200, but I think that's normal actually for Lux server, isn't it, for Rock's
Yeah,
case?
it is. It is.
Okay.
So, seems okay.
All right, so it looks like we're going to get a chance to play this out. It's game number 3 between DD and Rock's Kiss, attempt number 3. And it looks like the third time is actually the charm today. It's the third game, the third try of hosting, and everyone's actually good to go.
Mm-hmm. And we are waiting to see the lanes. This should be faster. You know, this part where you see the old pick and you see it's kind of
when everyone gets their hero, it should just bam,
show here.
kill the stream. Yeah.
Exactly. Bam. Now we have to wait and see.
What is it, like 30 seconds or something
Well,
like that?
you have to
Make
get
it
the full
last?
minute, I think.
Oh, really? Wow,
Yeah.
okay, I didn't know that.
So it's a
Bruno,
bit annoying.
I have a question though.
Yes.
Can you do the alt enter stuff when you got 10 players in the game?
How'd you do your overlays?
You know you can do alt enter. If everybody
I'm gonna
presses alt
leave then.
enter, it like
I'm leaving.
skips this.
You can do it in a custom game, so I'm sure
No,
that people
I'm
can. But
So
you
you
have to
could-
educate all
Yeah,
the players.
but basically, like when you rehost with alt pick, every pro player could just press alt enter and it should start, right?
Yeah, that should happen.
No, I was just wondering.
Yeah, but it's okay. I really like the DD flag now. If you go downstairs, you'll see that it has actually the German, French, Ukrainian, and I'm guessing Russian flag.
No, he's fine. He's fine. I allegedly tampered with script sensitivity a little bit, and
come on.
now he's... Dude, you play on FPS sensitivity. I can't deal with that. So when I was going to observe this game and actually decided to cast with you because I realized we're going to have more opportunities to cast together, but why wait?
Why wait?
Why wait? A good thing can wait, but I don't want it to in this case. But we can go over the lineups really quick here because we have had actually a pretty sizable break. So on the side of DD, we're going to have Goblak playing on that Treant Protector. Batrider is going to be played by Funzy. Sakshka going to be playing Lone Druid. Bucking Mad going to be playing again, I think, actually. And finally, last but not least, Silent on the PL.
Yes, and for the side of Roxkis, we have BZZ is perfect playing the Alchemist. The Clockwork will be handled by Dread, and I dread that pick indeed.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Solo playing mid, the Magnus, and the supports will be Vanskor, one of the MVPs of the tournament so far, on Shadow Demon, and Keeper of the Light, Yol. And they're saying, can we try Stockholm? And it seems that their pings are slightly worse. I mean, they're all over 200.
Yeah.
Yes, which is really...
We can try Stockholm, but isn't Stockholm technically worse?
It should be worse in terms of routing for...
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, it's up to the teams. If DD is willing to remake again, then we should be more than willing. You want even playing field, you know what I mean? You don't want anybody to get an advantage because of ping. So we'll ask if DD is okay, then we shall go remake Stockholm.
Okay, so one more time.
Attempt number 4. So we're going to be rehosting the game here in just a second. Make sure that this is actually a Stockholm server. Make sure we get everyone in. So yeah, it's been delayed pretty heavily, but I think this game is worth the wait, actually. And everyone is like instantly rejoining. We're actually still waiting on, I think it's Villat and one of the G1 guys.
I mean, can
when
you
they get in here.
imagine the winner of this game goes to Seattle?
Yeah. I mean, this is like, you want to win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's emphasis on hitting the desk.
Yeah.
Because you really do want to win here. I mean, you still have a second chance if you get knocked down. But you're going against Mouse, who just took out one of the favorites of the entire tournament. So
most of these players, they haven't gone to Seattle at all. I mean, I know that the guys from DD did. The
yeah,
guys from Roxy
Funzy.
All of them. They played with MTW, Fonzie,
Yeah.
fucking Mad, and Sokshka last year.
Yeah, that's right.
And Govlak and Silent played for Terror. So Didi, an expert in that. Rockskis, lots of new players. I don't think Dread has been there. Yeah, oh yeah, they were in the international one. I think in old Moscow 5. He might have been there. Old
I'm
Moscow
not sure. Actually, that feels like a lifetime ago.
Well, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
2 years in esports is ages. But I see the players getting their heroes now, trying to get ready, checking the pings.
It's actually
Pings
better.
are better.
Like significantly better.
The pings are significantly better.
Instead of over 200, we're looking at about 150, 160. So weird.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're not going to complain as long as. Well, they always say that they get better ping to Lux, so that's why we were hosting it. And then DD were like, yeah, we're totally fine with remaking as long as everybody's cool with it. And we're like, yep, sure, no problem. There is over $2 million on the line potentially for both
Andres
these
says
teams.
100.
Yeah,
And
he's
Sashka
happy.
is Davai.
Davai. Of course, my Russian accent is horrible, but we're not going to get into that. But
Nope.
Bruno, we've gone over the players, we've gone over the teams, but have we talked about who you actually think is going to take it?
I think this is DD's game to win.
Yeah.
Of course, Rockskis can win it, but if DD play their cards safe, and they have proven that they can do that, it's the control from moment one is theirs.
I
They
agree.
they have to screw up a lot to just give that advantage to Alchemist. And if they do, 20 minutes in, Alchemist is kind of scary, but 40 minutes in, Alchemist, not that scary.
Well, he can be incredibly scary at 20 to 25 minutes. We've even seen some Alchemists having the Shadow Blade, sometimes a full BKB and their phase boots done by that time, and that's kind of like normal for an Alchemist if you're not going to be contesting BZZ on that Alchemist, of course. But it does look like we are going to be seeing Dread go to that off lane. He's got his boots picked up. He's going for the cogs at level 1, pretty standard stuff coming out from him. And this is a lane where he might not necessarily get any farm, but you look and you see a Bane, of course, in this tri lane, and a Treant, and it's like not the scariest kill lane ever.
No, there's practically no killing potential in that bottom lane, but there is enough potential to just keep him away from the lane. That Bane, just right-clicking him is enough to deter him from trying to farm creeps. Of course, that Rocket Flare will allow him to get some, but it's not only about the gold, it's also about the experience, and that will be hard to find in that bottom lane.
And the one thing, too, about Clockwork is he can't go anywhere else. He can't collapse to the jungle. He can't farm like a small camp, especially we can see the Bat Rider. He could do that at a lone Druid. They could easily do it as well, but it does seem like we're going to be seeing Funzy playing the Bat. He's going to go mid, and he's going for his quick bottle build. So, DD, they've picked what I would call a very efficient lineup, but there are still openings for Rock's Kiss. They just 100% need to execute here.
Yes, and it's going to be all about that mid lane right now, because Bat Rider, quite an advantage against Magnus, let's face it. But if Magnus can still get something, and we've seen Solo over and over, just only in that Zeus game not getting what he wanted, but normally he gets what he wants, and that must be enough just to make something happen. As we see a quick rotation from the supports just trying to stop the bear, which I don't think will succeed.
They're going to do a decent amount of damage to it, but they actually pop Treant armor on it as well. And it's still sitting at about half. Fanscore with that double damage doing some serious work right here. But the bear will eventually get back to DD's side of the map. And this is the tricky part, making sure that I actually follow you uphill, because if you go too fast, then the creeps just say, you know what, screw you, we're going to turn around like right there. And he's actually going to miss out on a melee creep, but should be able to find himself some experience. This bear is actually really, really low. And you don't really see a Shadow Demon and a Keeper of the Light harass the bear that well, but DD and Soul Catcher.
Yep, and that's always hurt. Look at Soshka, he's just tanking the creeps. It's like, okay, I'm just taking some damage. It's going to be fine. I'll go to send my beer to heal, and soon the creeper will come, and I will be able to farm this first creeper.
Taking a few extra hits, I think, than he would want to, but he's not going to get dove or anything crazy like that. You can see Vanscore is actually looking for a courier snipe here. He's walking towards mid. He's actually going to just miss the courier. It could be going back, though.
He will be going back, and he might be able to get it. Yes, he definitely
Oh, he sees it, too. He sees it's walking. It's only 1 minute in. There is no way that you can actually afford to upgrade it right now. Now he just needs to make sure that he times it properly.
No,
the Drodo
no,
is waddling.
no,
It's waddling
no,
past.
oh.
He's going to get the courier snipe. Very nicely done by Vanscore. And something that you can always do when you know that it's this early into the game. Typically, the earliest couriers being upgraded are like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You just simply don't have the money unless you find CS otherwise.
Yes, it's going to be fine. Look at Solo, 6 stacks. He has, of course, lots of charges his magic ones, but now he has his bottle and it's safe. He will not be able to get lots of farming there, but he will at least survive right now. And the bottom lane, it's just fun for the Phantom Lancer. He's getting 12 CS and leading the pack, and just the Tree and the Vayne are getting some levels as well because they're both level 2. Oh no, sorry, just level 1 with Tree and Protector, but soon to be level 2.
You know what's interesting about Silence PL is that he doesn't go for stouts, even though you can see right now he's taking a pretty serious beating, but he's opted to go for the Quelling Blade. PL, of course, has pretty good base damage and amazing agility gain, the best pretty much of any hero in Dota. But I guess he's relying on his supports to give him their regeneration after he realizes that, hey, I've tanked like 5 to 7 creep waves under my tower. I'm not going to be able to really do anything else. So interesting, but a lot of people, they kind of swear by the Stout Shield no matter what. Some people don't like their Quelling Blades.
Yeah, there's some ping stop, and it's just a Bear trying to pull, trying to disrupt the pull. It's not going to be enough, and just Sokshka, level 3, surprisingly. I mean, he got lots more than he deserved in the top lane, and Roxkis will not be happy about that, seeing that Dread is still level 1 and just halfway through level 2.
He does need to be careful, because we talked about the kill potential of DD's tri-lane not being great, but as soon as the Bane hits level 2, and as soon as PL, I mean, he's going to be 5 probably before even that Clockwork sees level 3, which means that he's going to have level 3 Lance. If they Nightmare him when he cogs, the Nightmare lasts long enough to basically nullify the use of the cogs, which in this case would be running away. So he does still need to be careful. And middle lane, Funzy, actually taking quite a bit of damage, going to eat a Shockwave, quite low on health at the moment. And here comes the Tree in armor, and all of a sudden Solo is making a very sad face.
Yep, and this next room will be crucial for Fancy. The courier is still dead for 50 more seconds. So if he doesn't get the rune right here, you will have to just wait a lot to bottle crow. And that will give Solo enough push into the lane just to be able to control and win it.
Just deterring the Bat Rider at all significantly helps out Rock's Kiss odds, because that's one of the heroes who can initiate, and pretty much the only one actually. He is their only form of initiation whatsoever. If he doesn't have a fantastic start, and he doesn't get his fast blink, then suddenly you have a Clockwork who can go in, you have a Mag who's going to be farming reasonably well himself. He is a tiny bit behind at the moment, but not too far behind the Bat Rider. I think Rock's Kiss, they have the team composition to force these mid-game fights, maybe before Silent is ready, and that's what they're going to be counting on.
Yeah, I'm surprised that both sides, the supports are content to just stay in their lanes, just farm the jungle. It's going to be all about who can get their levels and their gold first. Now the career is back, so it's immediately upgraded to a flying career as well. And it will be much easier for Fancy, who popped the DD rune, but it's still a bit weak in terms of HP.
And bottom lane, they're going to get the first blood. Bucking Mad manages to secure it with an auto attack after that brain sap. And I was just mentioning, once PL hits 5, that's when that Lance really starts hurting. And as soon as they get there, they Nightmare Dread, they manage to get in range, and the cogs honestly wouldn't have even saved him there.
Yeah, and very well played by DD Dota, getting that first blood. Did Silent get that? No, it was Vayne. But that will mean quick boots for him, probably something more to just be more efficient, get the level 6 and the Bane, which is super important in this game.
Level 6 always going to be fantastic. And I do want to point out too, really quick, if you look at the last hits, the PL is at 38. The Alchemist is 10 behind him in a 5.5 minute game. And a lot of that is just due to how disruptive this Lone Druid has been to the top lane. Sokshka doing some creep pulling. Even looking at this right now, he's going to miss a handful of CS just because of how hard the lane is pushing.
Yeah, and right now he takes the creep. Look at that. He takes the creeps out from the tower. And he's just going to make them rotate. BTZ has to either use his stun, but he can't use it on the Bear either. But look at how he delayed the push right now. The Bear is recalled, and now there's a triple wave coming. Alchemist, you're having a tough job trying to last hit here.
He's definitely not going to be happy about that, but Lone Druid does need to be careful. Because Vanscore is smoked up here to the side. He's only level 2. It looks like he's going to be going in anyway. BZZ's got that level 2 unstable concoction. Sokshka, he's going to be caught off guard. Can they actually get this kill? Here comes the damage output, and the Illuminate's going to follow it. So BZZ, always talking about how he skews the compendium. Not going to be first blood, but he still manages to get a kill.
Yep, and that kill comes at a perfect time to just push the tower. The shenanigans of the Lone Druid were interesting, but now with a full creep wave, they can take this tower easily. And yes, that will give Lone Druid a little bit more space to farm, but also give lots of gold to the Alchemist, which he really needs because he's still 9 creeps behind in terms of CS.
I think the important things to note here for the early tower too is getting Keeper of the Light, the mech, just getting somebody with the mech, and BZZ will manage to last hit that tier 1. You can see Yell's already at 1,000 gold.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not doing too shabby at all. He has 19 CS. They're still prioritizing just shoving in this lane as hard as they can. Instead of letting BZZ get the perfect start, they're saying, okay, we're just going to push 2-tier towers really fast.
And now DD has to rotate, has to make something happen. The rotation from the main comes, and also the Bad Rider. He's level 6, but he doesn't have a blink or anything, so we'll hear. Nice. Nightmare.
Nightmare on a BZZ. Disruption's going to be there. No follow-up stun coming out of BZZ, unfortunately. Here comes Funzy with the lasso. Solo, though, he's got a haste rune. He's trying to find something. Can it be Funzy? The flame break actually knocks him back. Very well done, but a solo RP. We've seen how Roxkiss have utilized that before. Finding a kill is still going to be a kill, and BZZ stuns himself with that last concoction. But still, Roxkiss, they get the tower, they force a reaction, and they kill the Bat Rider.
Yes, and that's very, very important, because now the Magnus slightly ahead. He has the arcane boots. He will be able to go back to the mid lane, just put some pressure, maybe farm some creeps, going back and regen to the lane, knowing that he got a huge important first RP, and that's what counts when you're playing Magnus.
And I love how he uses his RPs. He's liberal with them. He doesn't sit there and wait for like the 4 or the 5 man. He's like, you know what? I can get this kill right now.
Yes.
And he just gets it. So that's going to be really important, because instead of what we saw the Cupid Red Pandas do earlier on during the qualifiers, wait for the perfect opportunity, maybe all you need is just killing the one hero to take a 4-on-5 fight. You know you're against a PL. You know you're against a team who, DD, I'll be honest, they picked really greedy heroes. And
It's
you
like,
got,
yeah, no, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was going to say, it's just like Lone Druid needs farm, Bat Rider at least needs a blink, and then PL needs a heck of a lot of farm. So in the mid game, Roxkiss, it's their time to shine.
Popping an RP is like trying to find true love. Some people just keep trying and find the excuses not to go for it, but suddenly, sometimes you just try, man. If you just try and go for it, you might find the perfect RP for you.
You know what I think it is? I think it's just the people out there who won't date. Lower your damn standards. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Go for the one-man RP. Maybe it's not the most attractive guy or the prettiest girl. Just go in.
Go in.
But getting sidetracked, but I couldn't help but add that, because, you know, you had this nice little segment, still looking for true love, of course. But it's 1-2 right now, 9 minutes in, and the last hit still being dominated right now by Silence. 68 and 27 here.
Surprisingly, if you look at the gold per minute, though, Alchemist is getting the best of this deal, only because he has maxed already Goblin's grid, Grievous grid. He's getting a lot of each one of the last hit. Every single creep he kills, it's about 50% more gold than he would normally get.
Yeah.
So if you look at those 47 CS, it's more like 55.
I would say it's more than that, actually, especially if you're consecutively getting them. Roughly, it's like almost 2/3 of a creep, maybe a bit more if you get.
Yeah, but you don't have him from
Beatles
level
creep.
1. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, it's still really good for him, and he will be happy for that. But again, it's going to be tough going against a late game Phantom Lancer. I'm surprised that the Phantom Lancer decided to just go for the drums first. It seems that he wants to have some kind of impact in the mid game and not just farm. Because normally, otherwise, you would skip that, just go to the Fusel and then try to get the heart later.
I do agree with this choice, though, I have to say, just because we're looking at the Alchemist farm, and if he wants to, he can go for the Shadow Blade. It's a very popular choice on him. And when you go for Shadow Blade, you see these openings for when he can go into a fight and just insta-kill somebody. Because level 3 concoction with a Shadow Blade hit is a pretty huge chunk of damage. So just getting the extra health, it gives you a buffer for either your team to react or for you yourself to try to use that Doppelwalk and get away. So I feel as though this is probably one of the only options he could have made, or choices he could have made, just based on the lineups. And Funzy, he's still looking to try to find that Blink Dagger, sitting at 1,500 gold, but he's really not getting as much farm as I think he wants to right now.
I'm kind of now doubting the fact that Alchemist might not be deciding to pick the Shadow Blade. He has 3.6k gold.
Yeah.
And the Shadow Blade, 3k gold. He would have bought it already. I mean, he might want to hide it for some reason, but why not just get in there in the stash and just wait for the career to get it? So maybe he's going for something.
Dread. Good. He's going to get picked off in the bottom lane. TP coming in from Solo. And that's a kill that you really can't give away, especially if it's going to be that Phantom Lancer benefiting at least in some part from the assist gold and a bit of the experience on top of that. But I'm with you. I don't think he's going to go Shadow Blade anymore. That's quite weird, actually.
Yeah, he might be going for something else. Maybe. Oh, he bought something. Did he buy?
Oh, Relic. He's going Radiance
Wow.
Alchemist. That takes me back.
That's interesting. The Radiant Alchemist will be able to farm a lot. And we were talking about the scare of the 20-minute Alchemist. Well, this was going to be super scary 20-25 minutes into the game.
To me, though, this is a risk. This is still a risky play, because if you get that Radiance and you don't get your perfect farm, say anything happens and you have to fight, or you don't win a fight and you teleport for no reason, then the Radiance build, it seems a lot weaker. He's going to have his Radiance damn fast, which is great.
Yeah.
but he needs another probably 10 minutes minimum to really make use of that, and you're giving 10 more minutes to PL to farm unobstructed, and I don't care how farmed you are at like 45, 60, or 50 minutes. Your Alchemist is going to be full slotted by that point anyway.
Yes.
And then you're going to be against a PL who's going to be starting to get full slotted, and Alchemist doesn't win that.
No.
So this is putting even more emphasis on that one timing window that they have that's going to be around 20, 25 minutes.
And if going Radiance is a risk, I have to say Silent going for a Yasha instead of rushing the Diffusal Blade, it's also kind of interesting because that Diffusal Blade gives you so much.
Yeah.
It's one of those items that you want to go. Of course, you want to go for the Manta as well if you're playing the Phantom Lancer, but it's one of those items that you can skip on if you decide to just go for Diffusal and straight into some other stuff. It will give him some more potential to farm faster. Will give him some move speed, which being a melee hero never hurts.
Yeah.
But I'm curious because normally you'd see Diffusal Blade instead of Yasha first.
Especially, like, the only reasoning I can think of is just being able to split push or push a tiny bit faster, but in all honesty, you still get agility from the Diffusal Blade, and the mana burn actually kills the jungle quite fast as well, so it's an interesting choice. But top lane, BZZ gonna get caught here. He's gonna get Fiend's Grip inside of tower range, and DD, they find the perfect kill, pretty much the only kill they need to be looking for right now. And
I'm not going to say that a Shadow Blade would have saved him, because it wouldn't, but
you never know.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, maybe he just has those Gosu reflexes. Maybe he would have got the Shadow Blade before the lasso.
yeah, maybe. But it's very, very unlikely. Anyways, the Radiance will be slightly delayed, but not that much, because Alchemist, what he does is farm really, really fast. And Silent, what he has now going for him is that he's super fast. He's 419 when he pops the trance, and he's now... Did he just... No. Oh, yeah, right. He's Tranquil Boots on, 419 move speed. He's really fast right now, and they're trying to make something happen top.
Vanscory finds a disruption. It's going to be on the lone Druid. I don't know if they have actually enough damage to follow it up. Dread actually hook shots to the disruption. And here comes Solo with the one-man RP. The armor just gets evaporated immediately off of Sakshka. The Illuminate's going to follow a Dread with the cogs, and the unstable concoction from BZZ to finish it up. So BZZ, he's 3-1 right now. He's got 75 CS, so Silent's still beating him in terms of the creep department, but as we were talking about Greevil's Greed, he's going to be able to complement his farm nicely, and he's got his Radiance now, and it's 14 minutes in.
What I'm more surprised is actually the 87 creeps from the Bad Rider. You don't normally see so much farm in the Bad Rider. That helped him to get a very, very quick Link Dagger, and I think that he will stop farming until after that fact. He still has extra 1,000 gold, and if he gets just a little bit more, a Force to Fan of Link Dagger makes you for crazy initiation, and that Alchemist will never be safe.
Oh, Funzy. He was potentially looking for a blink right there in the Van score. Unfortunately, he got hit by a poison and couldn't quite blink forward, but this Radiance choice, this is going to be it. Van score, though, getting caught out of position by the lasso. Silent throws out the spear, but Funzy the one, in the end, being able to get the kill. And DD, we talked about how they were going to play kind of defensive, but they're actually finding picks against a team, definitely 5 versus 5 right now, should have the advantage, especially with Solo finding his Blink Dagger.
Yes. But I'm also surprised at the fact that Goblack, he never seems to be where the action is. Wow, that's not me. That's a fake Bruno. Anyways, the thing is that Goblack, just being there just with his living armor, popping the living armor where he needs, but not him in the fight. That's good because they don't need him yet, but that's also good because by being alone, by just being underserved and not pushing with everyone, he still gets to find level 8, he still gets to find lots of gold. He can go for an arcane if he wants, he can go for something bigger. Goblack will be a crucial hero in this next 5 to 10 minutes, and it's showing right now with the gold he's getting.
It's just so cool to be able to sit there and be like, oh, you're in trouble? Armor. I just imagine, like, Michael Jordan throwing like the fadeaway jump shot to get the armor on.
Yeah. Kind of thing. You get living armor. You get living armor.
Everyone gets a living armor in this game. But Rock's Kiss, they're still on this timer. I mean, we're emphasizing it quite a bit, but it's really important. Because if they don't take their opportunities, Silent, he's going to have his defusal soon. And once he has a defusal, that's when PL goes from being a little bit annoying to obnoxious.
Yes.
And we can see a dust here on Solo. He's got the blink.
He's got the blink, he's got the dust, they can jump on him, but suddenly the rotation is there. Will the Vayne be able to just disrupt this? Oh, they decide to back for some reason. I think they might be scared there's more people just because they can't see anyone. And if Govlak is there and just a Bad Rider, they can win that fight surely. So, more passive play which favors Silent. Silent is really, really happy with his farm right now. He's getting full juxtapose. is getting level 2 Phantom Edge, so that Phantom Lancer army is coming soon.
It's going to be scary. It's going to be really freaking scary, especially for people like Yol. Like, how is that poor guy going to get away from Silent when he finishes a defusal? That mech is not going to save him. There's just no way you can possibly run. And because he got the Yasha too first, he's going to move even faster, which means, yeah, you mech, you maybe throw out the blinding light, you immediately get purged, and then you're really sad and die. And Saksuke, he's been left alone in top lane for the last 5-8 minutes or so. And he's been farming away, and PCC picks up a Yasha. So, very interesting build coming out from this Alchemist.
I don't know what he's really trying to do, but the most important thing is that he's getting his items. No matter what items he goes for, he will be getting that 6 slot eventually, and with that 6 slot in him, he will be able to fight soon. Will the Yasha be the best choice? Will he go for a Zanjan Yasha? Will he go for a Manta? It is interesting just to see that, but at least he's going for something, and that means that Roxys will want the fights to start soon. And as we say that, look at Fancy and fucking Mad trying to just smoke and get some pickoffs on the jungle, which they might find.
They're looking for it right now, and BZZ needs to be really careful, because if you walk down that hill...
Oh, solo.
He doesn't even see the fire, I don't think, but Funzy sees him. Gonna pull him up to the high ground. No disruption yet coming out of Van Score. Unfortunately, it was too far, too fast, and the Fiend's going to follow it up. BZZ, he finds the unstable concoction, but Sakshi on the side of DD already here to help out, and I'm kind of with you. I feel like Manta would be really weird. SNY and Alchemist at this point in the game is actually not so bad, considering they have an Empower.
Isn't it the best item in the game?
It is the best item in the game. Don't get me wrong. It's Silent. He's got his Diffusal Blade. Yol trying to TP away. He actually pops the mech, cancels the TP. And the Purge is there, so yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. That's a very sad Keeper of the Light.
That's a very sad Keeper of the Light. He knew he wasn't getting the TP away. He said, well, I'm trying mech. Not because I'm going to survive, but at least it will take him half more second to get there. And half more second without farm is really important at this part of the game.
Definitely. But Silent, he's left alone here in the bottom lane. Is going to be a Manta from BZZ. I'm like mind blown at these item choices. I mean, I can see why he's doing it, because going for a Manta on an Alchemist, especially when you have your Chemical Rage up, the Manta images are really strong, and they, of course, benefit from the attack speed, the base change that you get when you're inside a Chemical Rage, and it's cool. But is it really going to help them here?
In trouble.
Unstable Concoction is going to be there.
There's the protection from... Oh, no, he's dead.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be game over. He actually gets a double Flame Break. His Firefly is going to be up in a second, but the Mnemonic Purge was there just for good measure as Dread throws out that Rocket Flare to get the kill. And bottom lane, Solo, he's going to find an RP onto Silent. Silent actually taking no damage right now. Can they kill Silent? This is going to be huge if they can manage to pick him. There's so many TPs coming after Rock's Kiss, and the dust misses.
Wow.
That's a sad time for Rock's Kiss.
That's really sad. Now they invested so much. 3 TPs to get Silent. Did they RP him? I think they RP'd him.
Yeah, they did. Solo RP. Yeah.
So much of an investment. Not enough. Silent will be happy right now because now he can. He's not scared of the Magnus anymore. Like, what can you do to me? Will you skewer me? I don't really care.
Oh, BZZ.
BZZ, on the other hand, will try to stun. He will stun both. He pops the Manta. Interesting pick.
Hey, it worked out, man. He's got that move speed. Chemical Rage gives you bonus move speed, so does the Manta. Maybe he just wants to go really fast. I gotta try to get behind him and skewer on the bear.
Poor bear. No, Panda. Don't die.
I think it's gonna flop over here.
Tell my wife I love her.
Tower. Oh, he resummons it, and Funzy goes in for the lasso just then. Vanscore gonna be caught out. Goblak gonna be there to throw out a Leech Seed and ultimately secure himself a bit of extra gold and experience. And now the Tier 1 under pressure here by DD and Rock's Kiss. We talked about how they were the ones who were supposed to be applying pressure, and DD are the ones who are just doing it everywhere. They're just winning every fight.
Yep, but, I mean, we're already in the 20-minute scenario where Alchemy supposedly shine. And, I mean, yeah, 20 minutes with Manta and, and Radiance is interesting. But you also have to admit that having a 20-minute Phantom Lancer with Diffusal, a Yasha, I think he can almost buy the Manta now if he wants. And Drums is also really, really scary. And I think Rockskis will have to say, okay, we need to get Roche, we need to get an Aegis on our Alchemist, just not to try and take fights, just to let him farm a little bit more, just to make him feel safe, and if they initiate, we have Dread to counter-initiate, just protect him, get a pick-off, get a good fight, and then we try to make things happen, because I don't think Rockskis can take the initiative right now.
But the thing is, if you let him go later, you say, okay, let's let BZZ farm a bit more. is that really going to do any good? That's the question I keep asking myself, because sure, BZZ is going to be able to farm faster. His net worth is reflecting that right now. But Silent needs less to feel like more of a threat. So it's kind of like you're giving the opportunity for Funzy first off to catch out Vol in middle lane. It's going to be a free kill. Here comes a double RP actually, and a missed disruption by Vanscore. A little bit weird right there. Fiendscript coming out actually on top Black. You're not going to be able to kill him though. Here comes the Overgrowth solo, stuck inside behind the cogs. Dread going to be there as well, trying to retreat right now is Rock's Kiss, but they're not going to be able to do it. The first and second death going to DD in their favor. They're trying to chase down Dread, and BZZ right now, he's got the unstable concoction, but he gets entangled. Funzy, he force staffs over the edge. Dread stuck inside his own cogs, probably doesn't want to be here. Another root. The bear hits through the cogs. It's going to be a double kill coming out for Funzy as Silent is now on a killing spree. That's a wipe.
That's a wipe, and no one dies on the side of DD. Of course, they are super low, so they can't attempt to go for Roshan. But that was a perfect team fight. I mean, Dread jumped okay. There was an interesting RP from Magnus. It just wasn't there for Rockskies.
Yeah.
All the gold that Alchemist gave them in advantage just for being Alchemist is gone. And Silent just being there, getting to pick all those levels from the kills, all the money. Look at him, he has 4,700 gold. He can go for his own Radiance if he so desires right now. I don't think he will. I don't think he should.
He could just buy a heart soon.
But he could buy a heart, and he'd be a heart. I mean,
if he only had a heart.
If he only had a heart, it's like the team.
But it's a Manta.
No, yeah. Who needs a heart when you have a Manta?
That's true. You don't really need to have more health when there are just more of you, I guess is going to be his kind of quote for the game. But Rock's Kiss, they're not really doing anything. They haven't killed more than one tier tower. That was in the top lane. DD, on the other hand, they've taken the tier 2 mid. They've killed the tier 1 mid. They've killed bottom. They're applying more pressure with a team that we think, basically on paper, can't fight as effectively as Rock's Kiss can. But DD just know how to find the opening. So more than anything, you can consider it a slight outdraft, sure. But at the same time, you have to consider DD is just playing better.
DD are playing better, and the fact that Lone Druid is now getting something. He has his armlet on the bear. He's going for a Vasher. He has that Belt of Strength right now in the hero, but that's going to be for sure a Vasher. And if he can get this tier 1 tower uncontested, while Fonzie actually gets a pick off on the Magnus, it's a huge win for him. Right now, Silent is happy, he's getting his farm. The Bad Rider is more than happy. It's just, okay, let's give something to the Lone Druid, and when he has something as well, there's no way you can only fight with an Alchemist against 3 super farm heroes.
This is looking really grim for Rock's Kiss, and of course if they lose this, they're going to go on to play Mouse here in the upcoming best of 3, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But it's 13-4 right now, and DD with a commanding advantage here in game number 3 over Rock's Kiss. Can they bring it back? They're going to need that elusive 4 to 5 man RP, I think, and make sure you empower BZZ and hope that you just have enough damage to take the fights.
Yeah, but will it be enough? Now everyone's circling Roshan. There's vision for the Dire, so they know it's there. There's also a ward from the Radiant. That ward should see that. That sentry should see that ward, yeah. They see it.
Well, they have a gem anyway.
Yeah. So that ward is gone. There's no more vision for Roshan for the Dire side of the map. And now it's all about BCC going top and trying to get as much farm as he wants. What's he going for? He has a Hyperstone and a Vid Booster.
This has got to be one of the most unorthodox Alchemist builds I think I've ever seen. I mean, a while ago, when Alchemist was first starting to see play, you saw Radiance pretty commonly. It was something that a lot of people did, but people started going into Shadowblade because they're like, hey, Chemical Rage gives me a huge chunk of health, it gives me regen, gives me enough attack speed to where if I get one decent item, I can actually fight, I can contribute. And that really hasn't been BZZ's goal. He's going in a farm war against a team with a Lone Druid and a Phantom Lancer.
That's never going to work for you.
Yeah.
Definitely not. I mean, it might work for you if you had a Nature's Prophet, if you had a Templar Assassin in your team, if you had someone else to join you.
Oh, yo.
Oh, yo.
He pops the mech. Last ditch effort. The Diffusal Blade's actually down. He might be able to live here. Funzy blinking forward. He's got the Firefly. And DD not going to be able to find a pick this time, but Rock's are like, oh dear, we can't fight this. Help.
Yep. They are counting on the perfect RP right now. And now is the time where you can't be very... I mean, you have to try for the 5 RP at this moment. At the beginning it was okay, they got whatever they wanted. But now if you leave the... Even a Phantom Lancer illusion can kill you. Because if there's just one illusion and the illusion starts hitting you and creating more of an army, you're dead even if you get the real Phantom Lancer. And the Lone Druid, which has been split pushing, is now together with the team. So that Basher almost up there. The Javelin is on the bear. He has the belt, and I think the rest of the basher is flying in the courier. Yep. Now, 20% root, 25% bash chance. You know me, I'm the statsman, but that's a lot of percentage.
It is a lot of percentage, too, especially when, honestly, even if he had nothing, I would still feel like DD were in a dominant position. That's the unfortunate truth, just because, oh, BZZ gonna get caught out. RP comes out from Solo, trying to skewer Funzy back, but he leaves BZZ all alone in the pit. We'll see if Funzy actually ends up going down here. Disruption coming out after the Fiend Script coming out from DD. Very nicely done by Vanscore. The Concoction is going to be able to pick him up. So very nice play coming out from Vanscore. Stops Bane from managing to use that Fiend Script, and at the very least they delayed DD's pressure for a little while.
It's a small win, but it's a win and they're happy about it. And now, but rather buys back. And of course, it's a little bit less money, but he has a Foresight, he has a Blink. Money is kind of redundant right now.
Yeah, a little bit. He's kind of finished farming. Once you get the Heart, you have the Manta Diffusal, that's pretty much the core. Butterfly, icing on the cake, MKB or Daedalus, that's also something that would be pretty nice for him. But the one thing about PL that makes him so devastating is that even high armor, even high HP, it just doesn't matter. Because you get mana burn from every single image. Everything does a little bit of extra damage, and it adds up very, very quickly, especially once you get higher level, you get more agility. And he doesn't even care, man. He's just looking for a kill. He's going to find Yul. No mana at all on Yul right now. The dust is going to be there. Can Solo find anything? He doesn't actually have RP just yet. BZ, he's going hard for Silent. They really want to try to kill him. A nice flame break coming out from Funzy buying Silent sometime. Godblack, he gets the Overgrowth off. They're going to be trying to go on Solo right now. And BZZ, he gets disrupted, trying to run back to base. And Solo going to get overtaken by the army. That is Phantom Lancer. Sakshka in the meantime chasing out BZZ. The lasso's there. They even managed to stop the TP of Vanscore. And it looks to be a disastrous fight for Rock's Kiss. They tried to fight over Roshan. They didn't have a choice. But DD, they're flexing their muscles here in Game 3.
They're flexing the muscles. And they're going to get the tier 3 tower. They don't have the creeps though, so they'll have to fight against the backdoor region. But if they can get this and they can get Rack, suddenly they have control over Roshan. They can do whatever they want.
Well,
look at Silent.
Those images are powerful, I think is what Solo just said to his team on whatever voice communication program he might be using. But yeah, that was a Solo kill with images, Bruno.
That's what happens when you are a PL that have Diffusal, Manta, and Heart. Not even 30 minutes into the game.
We gotta have some stats on that, because that is some serious farm that Silent is pulling out here.
That is some interesting farm. I want to see the gold per minute. It's 634, so it's not unheard of, but it's really strong. And look at that. That illusion, just... You have to fear the illusions. If you're a support, you just see an illusion and run away.
It's like... It's just panic
look
for
at that.
Rock's
Look
Kiss.
at Yo getting hit. And now more illusions. It's terrible.
Yeah, Rock's Kiss.
I don't think Rock's Kiss is going to call GG because there's so much at stake here.
Tread, he goes in, he's like, screw it, we gotta try to do something. BZZ's here, he's got the unstable concoction. Who's he gonna find? It's gonna be Sakshka. Solo, he actually cancels the RP, but fucking mad. He gets the grip. Solo not able to RP just yet. Godblack, he gets the root off, and the RP finally does come out, but it's gonna be on just a bear. And Funzy, can BZZ clean it up? He's trying to do whatever damage he can. They do actually manage to pick off the Lone Druid, but can they get two? Can they get Silent? BZZ, he's got another concoction. He hits it on Silent. The flame break's gonna be there. Funzy trying to help Silent however they can, but he's just so tanky. He doesn't even care. He's going to turn around and man fight. Maybe he wants to buy back. There we go. He's got the money. DD. They get a set of racks bottom. They get the melee racks mid. Ultimately, Rock's Kiss force him out, but I don't think DD care.
It was too expensive. I think 2 or 3 heroes from Roxy had to buy back, and they're not in a position when they can afford losing that money. That Phantom Lancer, he bought back, and he still has 1,000 gold. They can easily go for Roshan now and just push that mid lane without creeps, get that range tower just out damaging it. And if they do that, they just pretty much won the game. They can't go straight into the top tower because the tier 2 is still alive. But why would they? Just go for the throne. Win the game.
Yeah, they don't really have to go for Megas. It would be the safe bet, I guess you could say. Going for the throne is a tad bit more risky. But we saw how long it took for them to kill Silent during that last fight, even with the Alchemist with Empower, Chemical Rage, just beating on him for like almost a full minute, and they almost got overtaken by images right there. So, see, 19-8, 31.5 minutes in here. Game number 3, Rock's Kiss, seemingly going to be dropping down to the lower bracket to face Mouse, and of course the winner of that is going to get that other placement. And then, where do we go from there, Bruno?
Where we go from there, Roxys will have to play Mouseport, and it's not going to be easy for either of those teams. They both lost to a couple teams before. Mouseport lost to EG and they lost to DD.
Yeah.
Rockskis lost to DD, like probably. They lost to AL as well with the Slark pick. So by no means invincible teams trying to get that second spot in the international, but if they do things right, they can get the last ticket and they will be able to play tomorrow in what will be probably one of the greatest fights, greatest games of the year.
Yeah, I personally can't wait. I think DD, they've played this series so well. They ended up losing a game. They were a bit shaken up, however you want to say it. And in Game 3, they're playing a little safe, but I can't say I blame them with how much money's in the line. It's like, why put yourself even at the smallest hint of risk?
The thing is that even if they wait and they decide not to push for another 30 minutes, there's nothing Rockskis can do just to get ahead in terms of items, in terms of the heroes they have. So, yeah, of course, everyone can screw up, and by no means Rockskis can't have the perfect initiation and the perfect teamfight that will allow them to get back into the game. But realistically, the more time you wait, the stronger DD gets, and the easier it'll be to just end the game and get a full day of relaxing before the game tomorrow.
Well, DD, they were going for Roshan, but they're actually going to decide not to. They see a little bit right now on the side of Rock's Kiss. They're only going to be able to spot BZZ, though, and they do have a Keeper of the Light, which means he can be pulled into the fight at any time. So you always have to remember that he's going to be at every single engagement, pretty much no matter what. But the rest of Rock's Kiss, they're still sitting inside of their base, and DD, they're not taking their opportunity. They see the flare. They realize, hey, it's probably a good chance we can just take this down right now. Maybe just go for the mid-racks. Maybe go straight for the throne. Who knows? It looks like they're going to actually be TPing to the top lane. At least Sakshka is. Maybe he wants to acquire a little bit more farm before they push in. Yeah, why not?
I mean, he has the Butcher, he has the Armlet of Mordigian, and he has 1k go. I'm surprised he has so little. I think he should have bought something. No, he's just... Oh yeah, he bought back. That's why he has not much money. But if you look at Silent, he has almost a full Butterfly.
Yeah.
And that Butterfly will mean that he's pretty much 6-slotted, if you count the ages. Yikes. How do you stop that Phantom Lancer? It's hard to stop just one. Try to stop 8.
A BZZ. Yeah, Battle Fury Rapier. With Empower, too. I mean, it could work. But the problem is, if you get bad RNG, then you just lose the game. Because if you miss Silent at all, it's like, well, we lost, guys. We made the investment. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. I think he's just going to go straight heart. Even though he kind of needs an MKB now. He might not know it. Oh, yeah, he is going to go for the Demon Edge, so...
Demon Edge might be a Radiance. He can go for the... sorry, not the Radiance. Might be a Rapier. It's kind of... I kind of agree with James. He says it's the last option. The problem is that even with a Divine, you still need something to go through that Butterfly.
Yeah, it is a very, very scary situation in general. We can see her solo. He's getting Fiend's Grip before the RP actually goes off. And they see the Blinding Light. They're buying Solo sometime to get the RP. BZZ is trying to find some target, but he gets lassoed by Funzy. And Solo goes down to Silent right here. Funzy, he's going to get auto-attack, but eventually escapes because the Illuminate not quite on point. Sakshka ends up getting the kill.
Well, the Illuminate does get the Lone Druid.
Yeah, they got the kill on Sakshka, but Silent now, we get to see how tanky he is. The Flame Break is there buying a little bit of time. I think he wanted to bring BZZ up to the high ground, but he didn't actually manage to do so, and Funzy actually dies to Shadow Demon's poison in the meantime. And this is actually a fairly good fight coming out from Rock's Kiss. Again, we talked about the investment of buying back on so many heroes. But, I mean, when you're going to lose your base, you kind of have to buy back.
And there's a little pause right here. Funzy needs to go to the toilet. Okay. Nature calls. He's not playing Furion, but still.
It could be an emergency.
It could be an emergency.
Sometimes you're sitting there and you think maybe it's going to be solid and it's not, and you're in panic mode and you're like, I gotta go.
I gotta
right
go.
now.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And I mean, just go. It's completely.
It's happened to everybody. Come on.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone.
So, Roxys will do the good thing and just wait. Maybe take the time to breathe and say, okay, what can we do? We lost bottom Raxis. We pretty much lost mid Raxis because we had the range, but the range is not as important as the melee in terms of pushing. That Silent guy, he's out of control. We need to stop him, but how? Let's just get a Rapier. Yay!
But how? Unpause while they're in the bathroom. That's how you win.
Yes, that's also a possibility. But even if you don't have the Lone Druid, you still have to play against Silent. And Silent at this point, maybe, just maybe, he can 1v5 the whole team.
Even if he's honestly like not even controlling his hero, if he just mantas an auto attack, it's going to be hard. Like that's just how PL works.
Wait, isn't that how you play Phantom Lancer? I do play him like that.
Yeah, I mean more or less. There are a couple of intricacies. You can throw a spear now and then.
Yeah.
Maybe you can go invisible.
Just to create one more illusion.
Yeah. But if you're lucky, you don't even have to do that, honestly. You throw a spear sometimes, you just all of a sudden see an army just go poof. And then all of a sudden the guy that you lanced is making a very sad face. But tier 2, being pressured by DD, looks like this is going to be their last stop. They're not going to go straight for the throne. They've already got the melee racks mid, so they know that mid and bottom are going to be pushing pretty much the entire time. They're perfectly okay with the slow siege. Secure the spot. Get yourself to TI.
Yep. 3.2k gold. Oh, he bought an MKB. Alchemist bought an MKB right now. He's bringing the javelins just right to him. That will make the Talisman of Evasion a little bit useless, but even without the Talisman of Evasion, look at Fancy. He's waiting for it. Fucking mad also with the the Bane right there. If the Magnus decides to jump, he'll have a hard time just popping that RP because the Fiend's Grip is going to be there. And even if he pops it, oh look at that, Solo is waiting and now he's revealed. Even if he pops it and he can get it, just oh look at that initiation.
Oh, lasso on a Solo. He's not going to be able to get the RP off. Vanscore with the disruption. Is it going to be enough? Goblak, he's actually going to eat the unstable concoction. They want to go for an RP, and they're going to actually get 2 with the bear. And Goblak, he goes down immediately, followed by DD. They might actually have the damage up what they need to take this. Vanscore, the first one on the side of Rock's Kiss, go down. Flamebreak buying Sakshka some time. They want to try to go for Silent right now. He does have that Aegis, but the MKB, it's doing huge damage. BZZ, he lands the unstable concoction, but they're actually trying to run away because they know that there's going to be another Silent and they can't actually deal with them. And DD realize it. They go in for the kill. Dread, he pops the Ghost Scepter. He's trying to make it back inside the base. He gets the cogs. But those cogs, they're going to be his grave.
So unfortunately for VCC, his ultimate ran out just in the middle of a fight, and without the ultimate, Alchemist is not halfway as scary.
Yeah.
So he had to run. There was nothing he could do just there. He's become so slow. And the fact that Silent survived, and did Lone Druid buy back? No, apparently he survived.
Yeah.
Died, but yeah, it's with just those 2 heroes. Look at that.
Silent taking quite a bit of damage here. They're just going all in on the racks. He's going to lose his Aegis right here. Bear actually quite low on HP as well. Sakshka going to be forced to retreat. The Manta is popped. Skewer inside. Can Silent actually get away from this? He pops the Manta. BZZ. He wants to continue chasing. Funzy with only enough mana to throw out 1 flame break. Silent actually had a killing spree. Kills Vanscore with just illusions. And the rest of Rock's Kiss, they're going to be forced to fall back because the images are killing their base. They're going to get megged by nothing but images. They can't even chase outside because of the Phantom Lancer army.
I think he didn't believe in that song that says, "It's just an illusion."
Probably not. It's more than an illusion. It's bad. It's like a hallucination because those can actually seem real.
Yep, and they can really, really hurt, as Vanscore showed recently. Silent, just standing there. Sakshka also, he doesn't have a bear. He will not have it for just another 20
They're gonna get megged right here. Yeah, that's it.
Well,
Mega creeps. Images, man. They couldn't even kill the images fast enough. Even with BZZ having Empower, they got slow sieged by nothing but Phantom Lancer illusions. So that's Mega Creeps, and Rock's Kiss, they're going to probably take 1 more fight, I would imagine. And then after that, we're likely going to see the GG.
Yes, and yeah, they can hold it for a while. Alchemist is not the best hero to hold Megas. I mean, it's not a Gyrocopter.
He's got the cleave, though.
He's got the cleave from the Empower. But still, the damage he will be taking, it's going to be a little bit too much. And the rest of the team will not be able to do much to just help him. I think he's just trying to get 1 Hail Mary kind of item. Well, the Phantom Lancer got his Butterfly, so whatever you get, BZC, it's going to be tough anyways.
He does, of course, have the MKB, and it's going to help him out a bit, but looks like the choice is going to be Boots of Travel. So even with a Keeper of the Light, he decides to go bots. I guess maybe he wants to try to split push. Maybe he wants to just be that more mobile so he can get in, get the Empower, get out, try to push a creep wave, and get summoned back. It's actually not a horrible idea, but it's not going to give him any more carry potential. And we've already talked about how DD Silent is kind of maxed, and that's going to be a problem. Even Funzy has a freaking AC, man. This Bat Rider has Phase Boots, an AC, a Blink, and a Force Staff.
Each ranged creep deals 133 damage. That's more than Clockwork does, that's more than Shadow Demon does. That's more than anyone in the team of Rocksmith
Funzy, he's going to find Dread, pulls him outside of the base, and even with 1 hero down, you kind of have to think, how in the heck are Rock's Kiss going to be able to defend this?
Vanscore, you're dead, my friend.
This is their last stand. Vanscore going to get rooted in place. They're looking for a disruption on Silent. Are they going to find it? It doesn't look like they actually managed to hit him. Looks like Goblak gets the overgrowth off on 2 Solo. He doesn't have an RP anymore. The Fiend's Grip goes off on BZZ. Everyone's just getting overwhelmed by images, and Silent, the triple kill, make it an ultra as Rock's Kiss. They call GG. Oh. It's a rampage for the Phantom Lancer. And DD, they take game number 3. unbelievable performance out of DD.
GG, well played, DD. They are the first team that secured their ticket to Seattle.
First team.
First team. They still aren't a team competing for the international yet. We will see if they are that team tomorrow. But today they can rest well knowing that at least they have the flight, they have the hotel, and they're going to be meeting all of the other guys right there.
I got to congratulate them, especially the 3 guys from MTW. They were there last year. We got to see them, of course, playing with Cinderin before, and Kabop, I think, was their 5th at the time. But now they're going to be securing themselves a 2nd ticket in a row on a new team. Goblak, especially, they got to be happy with their move.
Oh yes, absolutely. DD was a team that everyone before the qualifiers and even before the trade of getting Goblak and Silent was just missing as kind of a tier 2 team, a team that couldn't even try to compete with others that seemed in appearance stronger like the other teams in these qualifiers, but now everyone should be fearing them. They are not the most versatile teams in terms of what worked for them, but they do have some creativity.
Yeah.
They brought the Treant. They even tried to get something like the Shadow, the Dazzle.
Dazzle, yeah. I wanted that to work so bad, by the way.
Yeah,
I just
me
want to
too.
point that out.
Me too. Everyone wanted the Dazzle to work. But, I mean, they have 2 of the greatest minds in Dota at the moment, in Western Dota, in fucking Mad and Goblak. And it seems to work for them. They knew the teams. They prepared well. Team to watch.
Team to watch. Remember that. DD Dota.
Yeah,
back
the happy
here.
smiley DD face. It'll
Yeah.
pop.
It'll be there at some point. You might not get to see it, though, because we are back in the studio, and we're talking to James right now and Wepos. And James looks like he's panicking right now.
Hey, James.
What did you do, James?
How was the chat, James?
I wasn't watching chat much.
Are you talking to people on my Skype, James?
No, I'm not actually. I was
Finding
very
out
well
who's in your
behaved.
circle of trust.
Very well behaved. Yeah, congratulations to DD Dota. Really solid performance. And they've now, I think, played 4 games and won every 4. They've dropped in total, is it just 1 map?
Just 1 map, yes.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Yes. No, 2. Actually, 2.
2 maps.
The
yeah.
first in the first group
AL,
against
right?
AL,
Yeah.
yes.
That was it.
And then the one here against Roxky's.
So dropping 2 maps total, but winning 4 games straight. They definitely deserve to be going to Seattle, and
Yes.
they are now the team to beat. If Mouse Sports and Rock's Kiss, they're going to have to play off against each other in a little moment. We'll probably just talk to Rock's Kiss, Andy can do that, and just ask them how much time they're going to need, because they will want to. That's a really long best of 3 you just played. So sure, they're warmed up, but they might need a little bit of a breather. So we don't know how long we're going to have to be able to give them. So just ask them, Andy, how much they time.
Yeah, I asked them right now. We're actually having a bit of discussion about the server right now because, of course, during the last best of 3, we actually had some issues getting Lux to actually host. Mauser asking for Luxembourg, while Rock's Kiss, we know they're getting like 250, 300 ping. So we're trying to be as fair as possible, find the middle ground here so we make sure everybody
well, we
gets
do have
something.
Saijo on site, one of the DreamHack admins, who has come in for a week, and he will be able to resolve that over the course of the break. But Wepaz, what did you like? What didn't you like? Talk about the Alchemist.
Well, I felt that the Radiance pick could have been a smart pickup, since the Phantom Lancer went for drums into Yasha, and that's more of an early fighting build, especially with the drums. You want to be able to be in the fights. If you just go like straight Yasha into the Fusel, a bit more farming, but you can fight, but you get the extra mana pool of the drums. So the Radiance could have worked out, but then he got ganked, got killed. Once he only had Relic, couldn't really get that farm going. And then DD just started fighting, even though they had kind of a passive team. I mean, they had a Batrider for pickoffs, but they just started fighting, and the Alchemist couldn't really do anything because he went Radiance in the end. So it felt, when I saw it first, it felt like it could work, but in the end, it didn't really work out. Maybe a Battle Fury would have been better to just be able to cleave. You can farm kind of as fast as well, but yeah.
You can't dismantle the Radiance, or can you?
No,
Yeah.
you can't. Because anything with a recipe, you can't
Yeah,
dismantle.
that's right. Yeah, and I really wanted to see him get MKB Rapier.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's all they got.
That's all they got. That's the problem that we saw in the draft. They had just one hero that could get, and that's actually DD's. That was DD. That was DD with the second banning phase, being very, very specific with the heroes they ban. They say, okay, you have your hero in the mid lane that's Magnus. Farm will not matter that much. You will have to get a carry and you will have to get an offlaner. We will not be able to ban all the carries because there are a lot of carries in the pool.
Yeah.
But we will make sure that if you get an offlaner, it will be an offlaner that can't get that much farm. And they even force them to just rotate the clock that was supposed to be a support probably into the offlane and suddenly becoming concentration.
Yeah, I actually felt that the fact that they picked up Keeper of the Light, I didn't enjoy that pick, really. It's nice against the illusions, but at the same time, it would have been good to have that, in my opinion, a clockwork on support. And actually pick something up in the offlane that had some...
What was there left? That's the problem. There was nothing left for the offlane.
But they still could have went for something like the mag in the offlane and pick up another mid hero that would have a bigger impact than the mag. I mean, of course the mag did have an impact, but not as big as they wanted to. And the Keeper of the Light felt like it was more to deny the Keeper of the Light for DD because they picked up the Phantom Lancer before. So it's just like, we don't want to give you the Keeper of the Light because we know that's a really annoying combo. So I'm kind of on the same page there. It's the Keeper. They probably should have ran clock support and maybe run the mag in the long lane instead.
I would even like to see them sack completely the offlane and just go for a jungling hero that can get something interesting going on for them.
I actually was thinking that as well. It's like, if you sack the offlane, could you use an Enchantress?
Yeah, I mean...
Like, if you take one of the...
it's actually quite good against heroes like Lone Druid, because you just eat through whatever HP armor he has because of how good Impetus is, and you can form a pretty early push and actually make it significant as opposed to what they did, which was try to push and then...
If you, with an Enchantress, if you're still a PL illusion, can it create new ones as well? And they had a SD as well.
And they had an SD as well.
So you could have actually had maybe something going in your favor, but I'd probably...
I think it's
and Chen wasn't banned, was it?
No.
Enchantress, Chen was banned.
Chen was banned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we were thinking they wanted Chen instead of Keeper of the Light Rock's Kiss. So really, DD's drafts, this
has
last
been
game
on
at
the
least,
spot.
have been so good against their opponents. So it'll be interesting to see where we're going to go next with Mouse Waltz versus Rock's Kiss. So did you get any word back from the teams in terms of what they wanted to do?
Rock's Kiss currently are having a smoke, according to the lat. He said that they're all taking a break right now, so we should probably do the same.
Do we know roughly if they want to play instant when they come back, or should we set a time for them to start? Because we can say we can start in 10 minutes. Look at my hand. Where's my hand here?
Trance is just going like this. He's like, we gotta go. We gotta go right now. It's bad. Maybe he has to go to the bathroom, but we'll figure everything out when we get back.
Stand up, Bruno. Stand up. I can't do it.
What? You guys are really bad at this. Like, really bad.
Okay, now stand up.
Save us, Trance.
Go up. You're going the wrong way. Oh, we're rubbish at this.
Shut
up, Andy.
We need to practice.
You're not getting out of this with your stupid...
Wait, no, wrong way.
See, it's not that easy.
Damn it. All right, but stay tuned, guys. We're going to be back here in just a moment with Mouse versus Rock's Kiss.